okay, right. Okay, lovely. Well, I think we're going to make a start, everybody, so hurry to find your seats, because there's just a few left in the house. I want to mention that we're being live streamed tonight, so this is going out to the universe. So the important thing to remember is that whenever a song ends, just clap rapturously. It's the best thing you've ever heard, okay? I don't care if it isn't. Anyway. Let's spare a thought to all those people that you may have seen in the long line stretching from the door around the car park there. People who wanted to come to the show, but we just told them that they weren't good looking enough, so congratulations to the rest of you. Anyway, who am I? Well, my name is Rupert. Rupert Wates is the name. I'd like to say thank you to the Muse Performance Space, to Claire for running the sound tonight. Let's give a round of applause for Claire running the sound, everybody. I was last here almost exactly a year ago to the day, so it's nice to be back here in Lafayette, Colorado. And thanks everybody for coming out and braving the rain and braving all the bad news about COVID. We're going to put that out of our minds this evening, at least, I hope. And just feel the love. Feel the love of music. And this is a little love song called I'm Amazed. I'm Amazed. I don't need the mountains, and I don't need the trees. I don't need the splendor of the sun that shines on me. I don't need the treasures buried out at sea. I don't need the mighty temples of antiquity. I've traveled far, and all that I've seen left me cold, twisted and scarred. Nothing could move in my soul. But I'm amazed by your love when I gaze in your eyes. I hope it stays with me now and all the days of my life. Dreams claw at me in the night. They whisper of tragedies not yet come to light. We must hold on to these precious times when I'm here by your side and you are by mine. Out on the road, though you are far from me, everywhere I go, wonder is all that I see. It's better than the mountains, better than the trees, better than the splendor of the sun that shines on me, better than the treasures buried out at sea, better than the mighty temples of antiquity. I'm amazed by your love when I gaze in your eyes. I hope it stays with me now and all the days of my life. Yes, I'm amazed by your love when I gaze in your eyes. I hope it stays with me now and all the days of my life.
Appreciate it. You may be wondering why I've got 3 guitars up here on stage. Well, it's to give the impression there's actually a trio playing for it this evening, so you really get your money's worth. Well, actually, the real reason is they're all in different tunings, if you know about guitars. Different tunings, different open chord and things like that. And there's nothing more boring than watching a guitar player tune up, so I'm going to try to keep that to a minimum this evening. Anyway, these are all the same brand of guitars. They're all made in Ireland. So, these are going to be doing original songs this evening. That is songs that I wrote myself. Hope that's okay with you guys. If it isn't okay with you, I don't really care. So let me tell you about myself. The name is Rupert. One of those names that says, I'm not from around here. But that's okay, it kind of helps to set me apart a bit. Second name is Wates. W-A-T-E-S. So the whole thing reads, Rupert Waits. Well, what does Rupert wait for? So much of life is waiting. This is a song about waiting. It's called Waiting to Begin. When I was a little boy, the world was like a Christmas toy, life a game that I was sure to win, and I'm waiting to begin. Work hard and get ahead, in time all things will come, they said. That was only so much spin, and I'm waiting to begin. Waiting to begin. Waiting to begin. I'm waiting to begin. I'm still waiting to begin. I never crossed the starting line. The race has left me far behind. I'm no longer in my prime. Still the siren voices sing. They're calling from that promised land, stolen from me by some sleight of hand. Life's a shadow of the one that I planned, till I find the real thing. I'm waiting to begin, still waiting to begin. I'm waiting to begin. I'm still waiting to begin. Days come and go, and all I really know is that I'm slowly getting older. No more time to waste if I had to join the race. It's already halfway over. Let me do all that I intend. I'm gonna give all that I have to spend. The road is rushing towards the end, and I'm waiting to begin. I'm waiting to begin. Still waiting to begin. Waiting to begin. I'm still waiting to begin. So this is where I would normally introduce my wonderful singing partner, but unfortunately she's otherwise engaged this evening. Won't be able to join me on stage for very good reasons, you all know. So we'll have to sing this song alone. I can't avoid this song. It's one of my oldest songs, and it keeps coming back to haunt me. I wrote it about 25 years ago now, when I was about 3. Yeah, all right. I've been 28 for a long time, put it like that. Great age to be. This really is one of my oldest songs, and I wrote it in London, England, so not surprisingly it's about the rain, and it seems particularly topical this evening when we had just had a very heavy fall of rain. And over the last few weeks I've been prefacing the song by saying how appropriate it feels generally, because it seems to me, or it had seemed to me until very recently, that we've just come through a very dark, rainy period in our history. The last 18 months or so of our history has been pretty awful, I'm sure we would agree. And it looked to me, at least a month ago, that we'd turned the corner and we're out in the sunlight again. But we just had a few setbacks in the last 10 days. And I don't think we're going to go back to where we were a year ago. But it's not quite so easy to feel optimistic. But in the meantime, this is a song about the end of the rain, when we look outside and everything is just glittering and shining and full of promise, just like this evening. This is called After the Rains.
Shakes his feathers dry after the rains are gone, makes his home the wide blue sky after the rains are gone, and colors waiting to amaze are open to the gentle rays of the day to come after the rains are gone. After the rains are gone, and we will see with clearer sights after the rains are gone. And when the rain dries on our cheeks to leave us on our mountain peak, then we will hear our vision speak. Mist of joy and pain, the morning bird will sing again, although the night was long. And if no trace of us remains to say we walked in love's domain, his will be our song after the rains are gone. Girl shakes her feathers dry after the rains are gone, makes her home the clear blue sky after the rains are gone, after the rains are gone.
So we're going to change guitars now. This is my baritone guitar, for those of you who are interested. The big event in my life in the last 18 months has, of course, been the birth of Gabriel, our son, which took place in New York City in March of last year, right at the heart of the pandemic, which was particularly bad in New York City, as I'm sure you know. We had very bad numbers there. It was one of the worst hit places in the world. So it was kind of not the best time and place to choose to bring a new life into this world. But we didn't choose it. Maybe somebody chose it for us, I don't know. But there we were in New York City at a big hospital on the Upper West Side. And there he is, joining his voice to mine. Gabriel. I'm sure that the viewers at home can't see what I can see, which is my little baby son, Gabriel, in the audience this evening. Anyway, as I was going in and out of the hospital to visit Stacey, who was there for 2 or 3 days, I would pass through a set of revolving doors, big revolving doors. And it occurred to me that this being a hospital, that not everybody who came out of those doors, or rather went in through those doors, ever came out. They stayed in that hospital. But we were lucky to bring our new son and out of those doors and begin a new life, and we were very thankful for that. But in the meantime, I've been put in mind of an image for a song, which is the way my mind tends to work. And I saw a carousel at a fairground, horses going round and round, meeting and parting, meeting and parting. So this is the song for Gabriel, which I'm going to sing to him one day when he's old enough. This is called the Carnival Waltz.
all the pretty horses go round and round, painted in colors so gay, prancing and dancing while the music plays. So many people are standing in line, waiting to take a ride. Some may be happy and some may be hurting inside. As long as the wheel keeps turning, we'll watch them all go by. Some say hello and some are waving goodbye. For every face that is passing from us, another will always come round, and all we've lost someday will surely be found. Round and around they go, round and around they go, round and around they go. All the pretty horses go up and down, painted in their colors so gay, prancing and dancing while the music plays. And every good friend that we've lost on the way someday will come to the sound, and we're all riding the merry-go-round. Round and around we go, round and around we go, round and around we Appreciate it. So I recorded my new CD, which is called Lamentations, about a year ago in New York City. Went in and recorded the whole thing in an afternoon. It was just me and my guitar, so it's relatively easy to do. I've been writing it for about a year beforehand. So I first came up with the idea, the title, Lamentations, about 2 years ago, because I was reading the Bible, actually, which is something I ought to do more often, no doubt, but I don't. I do occasionally look into the Bible. And there, of course, in the Bible is a book called Lamentations, which is a very beautiful book. And it just occurred to me that it was the title for my next CD. I thought, what a great title for a bunch of songs, Lamentations. Little did I know that within a year, that title would sort of seem prophetic. Maybe the next title of my next CD should be Winning the Lottery or something like that. Winning the Lottery. Anyway, this is the title song of my new CD, which is called Lamentations. Once I was lovely, once I was young, once I rejoiced in the light of the sun, once the pure waters flowed straight to my well. Now I sing lamentations from heaven to hell. The keys of the kingdom
were thrown at my feet.
A table was laden with all I could eat.
Now I beg them to feed me through the bars of a cell,
and I sing lamentations to heaven or hell.
From so far away,
to all the dim voices that whisper and pray,
show us your mercy, tell us all shall be well,
while we sing lamentations to heaven or hell.
Once I was golden, once I was young,
and I danced in the light of the moon and the sun.
Now I've grown weary of the sound of the bell,
and I sing lamentations to heaven or hell.
and I sing lamentations
from heaven or hell.
Thanks, folks. Appreciate it. Talking of CDs, some friends of mine called the Rough and Tumble, they're a folk Americana duo, some very good friends of mine, lovely people. They asked me to contribute a song to a CD they were going to put together. And the title of the CD, or the theme of the CD, was going to be The Highways of America. Because we musicians spend a lot of our time on the highways of America. In a normal year, I do about 50,000 miles every year in my car, just traveling from gig to gig. Most weeks is about 45 or 50 hours of driving. So I do know the highways of America. But I still love the highways of America. And this is a little love song to one of my favorite highways. This is a song dedicated to Highway number 1 in California. I hope it lasts, but they've had such bad luck in California lately, I'm not even sure it's going to be there much longer. But this is called California 1.
I'm heading out on Highway 1, heading out, say you'll come with me. Just you and me. Down the coast she rolls and winds, while the California sunlight shines on the sea. I can feel the mountain breeze, hear it singing through the redwood trees. I can taste sweet, sweet wine, see the ocean move to its own time. Waves are breaking in the sun, I'm going where the endless rivers run. Oh, how they run on California 1. While we are standing still, time just advances over those blue, blue hills. Life surely dances. So much we lose and spill, wasting our chances to be free. I can feel the mountain breeze, hear it singing through the redwood trees. began to taste sweet, sweet wine. See the ocean move to its own time. I'm heading out on Highway 1, heading out if you'll only come. We've just begun on California 1. California 1.
Thanks, folks. So, I write a lot of songs based on true stories, and this is one of them. This song is also one of my oldest songs. It's about 11 years old, I think. Growing up fast, and I wrote this as part of my 2010 CD, Joe's Cafe, which is full of nothing but true stories. This particular story concerns a poor family who made their way across America on foot during the days of the Dust Bowl Depression. It actually sounds like a John Steinbeck story, but it really did take place for real. 1932, it was the heart of the Dust Bowl. There were dust clouds, tornadoes, hurricanes on a daily basis, blotting out the sun and the sky for days at a time. Must have been a terrifying sight to see those dust clouds bearing down on your clapboard house. People thought the world was ending. And it was also the height of the Great Financial Depression, which began in 1929 with the crash on Wall Street. By 1932, about a quarter of the adult male population was out of work, and the hardest hit areas, as usual, were the rural areas. And when they took their farms away from those people, they were in despair. They didn't know where to go or what to do. But the women stepped up to the breach and kept the show on the roads. This is really a kind of hymn of thanks to the women of America for keeping the show on the road. This is my song based on a true story. This is called Days of Mercy. Days of Mercy.
Daddy lost his job one day when he wouldn't take a cut in pay. He couldn't find another place, even one that paid him less. So he settled into his easy chair with his dog-eared magazines until the bank took back our house. And my mama only screamed when she was a little girl. She had a dream, she found a pearl hidden in the pocket of her pants. But the pants were full of holes, and when she woke the pearl was gone, and she was only 6 years old. Hold on tight, my mama said, keep your eyes upon the sun. Faith in the road ahead, the days of mercy will surely come. When the world is blown apart in the eye of a hurricane, let strength and courage fill your hearts. Days of mercy will come again. So we sold up all we owned. We headed east in a touring car. We found a place with a plot of land down in windy Arkansas. Our daddy worked on a lady's farm, but my mama heard it said he didn't work that lady's fields as much as he worked her bed. So she packed a cardboard case with a single change of clothes and took the baby on her hip and told us all to follow close. And we began the long walk home to the California coast. Hold on tight, my mama said, and keep your eyes upon the sun. Put your faith in the road ahead. The days of mercy will surely come. When the world is blown apart in the eye of a hurricane, let strength and courage fill your hearts. Days of mercy will come again. When I fainted in the heat of the Oklahoma sun, my mama led me to a stream and dipped a cloth to bathe my head. We walked all through New Mexico, and in a migrant workers' camp I learned all there was to know about the kindness of the poor. And all the children dressed in rags, they gave us everything they had, bags of sweets with ready smiles, fresh tortilla around the fire, in the huts of rusty iron. When the babies started crying, hold on tight, my mama said, and keep your eyes upon the sun. Put your faith in the road ahead. The days of mercy will surely come. When the world is blown apart in the eye of a hurricane, let strength and courage fill
fill your hearts. Days of mercy will come again. And so we finally reached LA. Beside a lake in Lincoln Park, a man was standing all alone, throwing crumbs to feed the ducks. When are you gonna take those children home? Asked the man, and my mama said, we just walked 2,000 miles, we'll make it yet with a little luck. And then the man just looked away. He said he guessed his turn had come. He pulled out $2 bills, enough to see us right, for a can of pork and beans and some shelter for the night. Hold on tight, my mama said, keep your eyes upon the sun, put your faith in the road ahead. The days of mercy will surely come. When the world is blown apart in the eye of a hurricane, let strength and courage fill your hearts. Days of mercy will come again. Hold on tight, my mama said, keep your eyes upon the sun, put your faith in the road ahead. The days of mercy will surely come. When the world is blown apart in the eye of a hurricane, let strength and courage fill your hearts. Days of mercy will come again. Hold on tight, my mama said, keep your eyes upon the sun, put your faith in the road ahead. Days of mercy will surely come. When the world is blown apart in the eye of a hurricane, let strength and courage fill your hearts. Days of mercy will come again. Some of these songs have additional resonance these days of difficulty, don't they? That was written about a story that took place over 80 years ago, but it almost sounds as if it could have been written last week, it sometimes seems. Anyway, let's do something completely different now to keep you lovely people entertained. Been studying some classical pieces lately at home. So what I'm going to do now is a segue. Two pieces for the price of one. The first is by J.S. Bach. It's called Jesu Joy of Man's Desire. And the second piece, I'm going to go straight into one of my own tunes. It's called I'll Never Tire of Looking in Your Eyes. And they're both instrumental. So what I'm doing here by segueing a piece by Bach with one of my own is setting myself up for comparison with one of the greatest composers who ever lived. But that's okay. You've got to reach a little higher once in a while, haven't you? So here we go. Jesu Joy of Man's Desire, followed by I'll Never Tire of Looking in Your Eyes. So we all know and love Stacey, and I'm sure you all know about her organisation, a non-profit organisation called Realise Your Beauty. She hasn't been able to do much of it over the last year for obvious reasons, but it's still alive and kicking. For those of you who don't know, what happens is Stacey goes into schools, high schools mostly, and talks to the young girls there, some boys but mostly the girls who have trouble with their self-image, if you like, problems with loving themselves or seeing the beauty of themselves. And Stacey's task is to persuade those girls they are beautiful just as they are, and not as their friends or the rest of the world would like them to be. They're perfectly okay, just exactly the way they are. Which is a lesson that's worth learning for all of us, I think. RealiseYourBeauty.org. So this is a song dedicated to the girls of Realise Your Beauty. I envisaged a girl who lived on a desert island where there was no Facebook and no social media. No one ever came to visit her. She decided she was going to make her desert island a beautiful place. So this is called The Ballad of a Brown-Eyed Girl.
She was a young girl with eyes of brown, lived 3 days all alone on an island where the wind and the rain made a pitiful sound, and the sun and the sea endlessly pound the rocks on the shore and the white sand. On the first day she wrote with a stick in the sand words of welcome to all passing sailors, but as evening fell on the very same day, the tide coming in washed her words away, while the light of the moon grew paler. On the second day she stood at her window and sang a beautiful song to the morning, but no one was there on her island to hear, and the beautiful song that she sang disappeared in the sound of the rain that kept falling. On the third day she woke and she planted the seed of a rose that would bloom in her garden, but the sun beat down and it withered the rose, for she'd chosen a place where no river flows, in a land that never gives pardon. And though none never read what she wrote on the sand, or heard what she sang from her window, and though the rose that she planted died in her hand, for 3 days the cruel world was a lovelier land, for the brown-eyed girl had made it so. She was a young girl with eyes of brown, lived 3 days all alone on an island where the wind and the rain make a pitiful sound, and the sun and the sea endlessly pound the rocks on the shore and the white sand.
Thanks, everybody. So I'd like to try out some new songs for you this evening. Songs that haven't been played in front of people except Stacey and Gabriel and our dog, Rosie. Rosie loves them. She always wags her little tail back and forth when she approves of a song. I think she's got very, very good taste. So I'm going to be recording a new CD on Thanksgiving. I've already written all the songs. Why do I write CDs? Very few people buy CDs anymore, but you can just about cover your costs. You can't really make a living through your recordings anymore, but you can certainly cover your costs. So I'm going to go on making CDs because that's what I like to do. So my new CD is going to be a return to my roots in English folk music, really. It's got a very English flavour to it, English pastoral flavour. This is one of the new songs from the new CD, which is yet to be recorded. And this is called To the Sea.
Can you tell me where my true love lies? What's that to me? What's that to me? Did she pass by on her morning ride? Follow the river to the sea. Were there wildflowers in her chestnut hair? What's that to me? What's that to me? It was for my sake she them did wear. Follow the river to the sea. She'll wait on the sun-warmed sands while the rays rise and fall, where the old ruined castle stands and silence gazes from its walls. There she'll watch as the sailors make land, each with treasures galore. They will show her the pearls in their hands that they have brought from distant shores. And in time to come she'll not grow old. What's that to me? What's that to me? For a rusty coin she'll trade her soul. Follow the river to the sea. Tell me where my sweetheart lies. What's that to me? What's that to me? Did you hear her sing as she passed by? Follow the river to the sea. Follow the river to the sea. Follow the river to the sea.
So if you may remember the tales of Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table, it's a sort of mythical set of stories from British prehistory. One of those tales, Arthur is commanded by a sorceress to go and find the answer to a riddle. And the riddle is, what is it that women most desire? So off he goes in search of the answer to that question. What is it that women most desire? It's a question that most men would like to know the answer to. And in fact, I think Mel Gibson went off in search of a similar thing. Have you seen that film with Mel Gibson? And he didn't do it with quite as much panache as King Arthur. And this is a song based on that old tale, old myth. And I'm going to go, once again, segue into another song, which is a song sung from the point of view of a jilted lady. So there are two songs for the price of one again, and they're both on the theme of ladies. What is it that ladies most desire? And how does a lady feel when she's jilted by her lover who goes off to live with a beautiful woman in Spain? So this is All Fair Ladies, followed by Spanish Galleon.
Tell me, ladies, much admired, ask and we will answer you. Name the thing that most desire, ask and we will answer true. Shall it be a diamond or a ring? Must I be a pauper or a king? Tell me if you can what I must bring a lady fair for my lady's hand to win. Will she care for pomp and state? Ask and we will answer you. Plump young fowl to fill her plate. Ask and we will answer true. Shall it be a diamond or a pin? Or must I be a pauper or a king? Tell me if you can what I must bring, a lady fair, for my lady's love to win. Will my riches turn her head? Yes, but they'll not reach her heart. Will she prize good sport in bed? Yes, but you must learn the art. Be thou lord or prince or knave, so say all fair ladies. When you've learned what most she craves, so say all fair ladies. Let your lady have her will, and then your cup of joy shall be filled. If no other gift you bring, your lady fair, you your lady's heart shall win. Let your lady have her will, then your cup of joy shall be filled. If no other thing you bring, your lady fair, you your lady's heart shall win. You your lady's heart shall win. Oh, take me aboard your fine Spanish galleon. I must make my way to the port of Cadiz. My true love is there and still wears my medallion, for I am worth more than that lady of his. How much should I pay you to grant me the passage? A poor maid I am, little money have I. His lady is rich and she rides in a carriage, and she has bewitched him with dark Spanish eyes. Oh, take me aboard your fine Spanish galleon. I must make my way to the port of Cadiz. My true love is there and still wears my medallion, for I am worth more than that lady of his. I know he will love me again when I find him, for he bears my image yet close to his heart. No more will her jewels and her finery blind him, no more will she practice her poisonous art. Oh, take me aboard your fine Spanish galleon. I must make my way to the port of Cadiz. My true love is there and still wears my medallion, for I am worth more than that lady of his. I am worth so much more than signoras of his.
The First World War is a very traumatic and poignant memory for us in England, as it is for the whole world, but particularly in England. And I wanted to write a couple of songs based on the point of view of soldiers in the First World War. And I'm going to do a couple of them for you now. There's a story which I based this song upon, another true story. There's a certain pub in the southeast corner of England, not far from London. I call it the Bricklayer's Arms in this song, the Bricklayer's Arms. And if you go to the Bricklayer's Arms, you may look up at the ceiling and you'll see some small silver coins nailed to the ceiling, surrounded by a lot of nail holes. And those little silver coins are florins, which was a unit of currency worth about 10 pennies in England 120 years ago, on the eve of the First World War. And what happened was the young men who were about to go off and fight in France, they gathered in the pub on the night before their departure, and they said to their sweethearts and loved ones and family members, I want you to take a florin out of my purse here, a florin, which is worth about 10 pennies, and I want you to nail it to the ceiling. And then when I come back from the war, we can reclaim my Florin, and we'll have a couple of pints of beer to celebrate my return. So that's what they did. And if you go to that pub today, we look up and see the nail holes still there in the ceiling where the florins were nailed to the beam. But you'll also see 20 silver coins. And those silver coins stand for the men who never came home to reclaim their florin. So I decided to write a little song to the memory of those men and all the men who go off to fight and serve their country. Actually, men and women, I should say. I actually wrote this song on Memorial Day of this year, appropriately enough. So this is called A Florin to the Beam.
Drink up and dry your eyes, nail a florin to the beam of the old bricklayer's arms and leave it there for all to see. Drink up and dry your eyes, and on the day when I come home, it'll buy a high old time for you and me. Promise me that you'll remember me in every letter that you send to me. This war will never make an end of me, as long as you are still a friend to me. Drink up and dry your eyes, nail a florin to the beam of the old bricklayer's arms and leave it there for all to see. Drink up and dry your eyes, and on the day when I come home, it will buy a high old time for you and me. See your eyes again, that coin will be the one you never spend. No black ring notice in the Times for me, one silver penny will do fine for me. Drink up and dry your eyes, nail a florin to the beam of the old bricklayer's arms and leave it there for all to see. Drink up and dry your eyes, and on the day when I come home, it will buy a high old time for you and me. We'll have a high old time, wait and see.
Thanks, everyone. I'd like to do a brand new song that never been played in public before. And this again is on the theme of the First World War. The iconography or the literature of the nightingale is very potent in Europe and in England, where we have some nightingales left. They're becoming extinct, but they're still there, singing away at night. So in this song, I tried to make a link between the nightingale and the fate of the British soldiers who went over to fight in the First World War. Because, as you may remember from English literature, the nightingale, according to one story, the nightingale willfully committed slow suicide by laying his breast against the thorn of a rose. And until that time, the rose had been white, but after the nightingale bled himself to death, the roses were red, and they've stayed red ever since because of the nightingale. This, of course, is a mythical tale. I don't know whether it's true or not, but it's a nice story. And, of course, the roses in Picardy were also bright red, which is where the British soldiers so nobly gave up their lives. So this is called Hills of Blue Heather, or the Nightingale Song. Brand new, never done it before. Here goes, and good luck.
And as the nightingale sing as sweetly as ever in the hills of blue heather where you and I lay, and the music he made filled the darkness with sound until the night found the first light of day. Is the springtime as lovely still as I remember when morning had broken and I held you near, and we stood together in the hills of blue heather while the nightingale song it rang in our ears. Now my days are laden with colors of autumn. The ground we have fought on as brown as my clothes, and the night's only music is the prayer of the young men, waiting and wondering whose blood will flow. For the flowers of England shall wither and die here, as the nightingale offered his breast to the thorn, killed by alien hands in an alien country, far from the lands where they were born. And I will see you again, as lovely as ever, in the hills of blue heather one morning in May. And the church bells will ring so loud they will drown all of the sounds that welcome the day. Though my eyes have grown older and fires have grown colder, I will see you once more, untouched by the years, as we stood together in the hills of blue heather, and the nightingale song, it rang in our ears. And the nightingale song, it rang in our ears.
You like that one? Ronnie likes it. I'll get it. Next time I play it, it'll be better. Okay, so here's the song I wrote during lockdown. Why don't we do something? Let's do a song about another bird, actually. You've got to do, coming from England as I do, you've got to do at least one song by the Beatles, haven't you? I want to tell you a story about Paul McCartney. I worked with a singer in London when I lived in London about 20 years ago. I worked with a singer who was about my age, good singer, and it turned out that she was Paul McCartney's cousin. I didn't know that at the time, but she was his cousin. She's my age, he's a good 25 years older than I am, but he has a very spread out family, and so she actually was Paul McCartney's cousin. And she played some of my material to Paul McCartney. I didn't know that she was going to do that. I didn't know she had done it, but she told me she had done it. And apparently he loved it, which is great for me, because of course I've always loved Paul McCartney and the Beatles, as does any serious musician. And there was no reason for her to pretend that she had played him the song. I didn't even know that he was a relative of hers. So I believed her when she told me that he really did like the song. So anyway, here's one of his tunes, so I'll return the compliment. One day he's going to play one of my songs, I'm sure. This is called Blackbird. Blackbird singing in the dead of night, take these broken wings and learn to fly. All your life, you were only waiting for this moment to arise. Blackbird singing in the dead of night, take these sunken eyes and learn to see. All your life, you were only waiting for this moment to be free. Blackbird fly, blackbird fly into the light of the dark, dark night. I'm trying to sound like a blackbird. If there are any ornithologists in the room, join in. Blackbird singing in the dead of night, take these sunken eyes and learn to see. All your life, you were only waiting for this moment to be free. Blackbird fly, blackbird fly into the light of the dark, dark night. Blackbird singing in the dead of night, take these broken wings and learn to fly. All your life, you were only waiting for this moment to arise. You were only waiting for this moment to arise. You were only waiting for this moment to arise. new song for you now. This is a song that I wrote recently. It occurred to me, I often wonder, what should I say to myself when I look back on my life? What pearls of wisdom will I be able to offer Gabriel when he comes of age? Will I be satisfied? Will I be justified? Now, this is called Justified.
Take me home and take me now from the place where I hid. Take me home and only let me know if I was justified in what I did. Free my hands and free my soul, and you will see me rise and fly. Take me home, only let me know if I was justified in your eyes. That I was so much younger then, and I was blinded by pride, and I flew too near the sun again. Was it justified when so many cried? Lay me down and lay me low. Take me now, my time has come. Take me home, only let me know if I was justified in what I've done. Take me home and take me now. Take me home, my time has come. Take me home, only let me know if I was justified in what I'd done. Was I justified in what I'd done? Was I justified in what I'd done?
Thanks, people. Got time for one more song, and I want to ask the house, do we want to hear Gabriel and Stacey up here on stage or not? Well, go on, darling. Maybe Kelly would just look after Gabe for 5 minutes while we sing the last song together. Would you mind, Kelly? Would you please welcome warmly to the stage, Stacey. It's been a real pleasure to play for you this evening. If you'd like to buy some CDs, they're over there in the box, silver box, $20 for two, $15 for one. Music is a very, very good force in the world. It always has been a very positive force. It was Brian Wilson, I believe, of the Beach Boys, one of my favorite songwriters, who said, when people play music, they're working together in harmony for a common goal, which is one good thing, but they're also making harmony. So it's a very healing and restorative process in every point of view. So here's to music. We need it now more than ever. This is called Prayer, and it goes out for everybody tonight who doesn't have a prayer. 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 Here's to you, and here's to me.
Here's to all we've ever seen, to all to come and all that's been. Here's to all we've ever shared, to our fathers and to our heirs, to all people everywhere, when they haven't got a prayer. Here's to the young and here's to the old, to the body and to the soul, to all whose stories are still untold. Here's to the lightness and here's to the weight, to the crooked and to the straight, to all who died too soon or were born too late. Coming into sight.
Here's to the rich and here's to the poor.
Here's to the sea and here's to the shore. Here's to all the people everywhere.
When you haven't got a prayer.
When I haven't got a prayer. When I haven't got a prayer. When they haven't got a prayer, when they haven't got a prayer.
Here's to the cup and
Here's to the priest, here's to the west and here's to the east, here's to all they bring to the feast. Here's to the lion and here's to the lamb, here's to the beast in the heart of man, here's to the house on rock and the house on sand.
here's to the heart and here's to the head. Here's to the living and here's to the dead.
Here's to the joy, here's to the tears we shed. Here's to the first and here's to the last, to the future and to the past. Here's to all who've ever raised their glass anytime we asked.
Here's to the moon and here's to the sun. To
All we lost
and all we won. Here's to all people
everywhere.
when you haven't got a prayer.
When you haven't got a prayer,
When you haven't got a prayer.
when you haven't got a prayer,
When you haven't got a prayer.
when you haven't got a prayer, when you haven't got a prayer. Stacey Lauren, everybody.
And Rupert Wates.
Thanks so much for being here, everybody. Please be safe on the way home. Would you be able to sing one more little song for Stacey? Would you like to hear Stacey sing one more song? Time. We're going to do. These are all my own songs. I won't be that quite clear, my own tunes, but Stacey does a wonderful job on this song. It's a solo song for her, so please give her a very warm round of applause, both before and after. This is a song about the passing of time. We haven't rehearsed this at all, so here goes, and good luck. Stacey's going to sing a song called Time.
Time what you stole from me. Time, you attack all I hold most dear. You alone I fear. Once we were young, and the world that we saw would shine. But you took the sun, leaving only the passing bell to chime. Time, cruel time, tell me you were kidding. Show me where you've hidden what was ours. Blind, full time, for every joy you steal and every wound you deal, you heal the scars. Then kind, cruel time, give me grace to forgive your crimes, as others have forgiven me mine. And all things are forgotten in time.
Thank you.
Stacey, everybody.
Thank you, Rupert.
Stacey Lauren, everybody. I'd like to leave you with one more tune, just an up-tempo tune, because that was a bit of a downer. Don't like to leave you with feeling depressed and gloomy. So I'm going to do a non-original song. This was actually written by Leo Kottke, one of Leo Kottke's tunes. I want to say thank you again to the Muse Performance Space. Thank you again to Claire and Pete. This is a really nice venue, and so do please look out for shows that are happening here. They have them 5 or 6 nights a week. Come back to the Muse. Keep coming back to support live music. Musicians need you now more than ever. If you like music and you want to stay around, then you've got to come and help support us. So please do that, and look out for every opportunity to do so. Thanks again for being here. This is called The Fisherman. It's written by Leo Kottke, The Fisherman. Stacey Lauren. Claire. Don't forget the CDs, everyone. Thanks so much. See you all again. Thank you.